ever.
What's good, YouTube? What's going on? Thanks for coming through to TD Sports Talk. I'm here with my co-host and one of my best friends in the whole wide world, Mr. Socrates Palmer. And today we have a special guest. We have a a special guest here. We have our good friend, Mr. Pedro Fernandez. And we're just going to get right to it. I want to thank everybody that's in the building right now, but we just want to get to it. And Pedro is going to give us a brief, introduction of himself. And then we'll just get right to it.
Ready for roll?
We're ready. We're on. We're live.
Good evening, everybody, or good morning, good afternoon, wherever you happen to be around the world. My name is Pedro Fernandez. Let me introduce myself. I'm a native San Franciscan. As far as boxing is concerned, I won 4 Golden Glove championships, 2 open class titles. Went to the Western Olympic Trials, lost to number 5 guy, Vincent Webb. Won the USAPA title as a boxer, and I was schooled as a journalist. Growing up, I was a high school editor of the South City Warrior, won some awards as a high school journalist. Went to college, and while I was going to college, I got a job with a newspaper, and the high school teacher didn't like the newspaper, so he was just a bit of an asshole. So I quit like that. I quit like a year into this. I'm getting paid in the newspaper. But anyway, bottom line is, I have a journalism background, I have a boxing background, and I'm an ex-cop here in San Francisco, and I did that for 10 years. Outside of that, I'm wondering how Socrates Palmer built up those arms.
Flintstone vitamins.
A lot of curls. Pedro, before we go any further, if you don't know who Pedro Fernandez is, then you've been living under a rock the last 25 years at least, right? Pedro Fernandez is the host of the longest running radio show, boxing radio show. He's someone who has been a mentor to me, someone who has given me a shot to shine on the air for now about 10 years. And, he's a pretty good guy.
All that stuff is because you deserve it. I mean, few young men impress me the way you do, young man. I mean, your fatherly skills, the fact that you're a good father and this and that, and a good husband, all that kind of good stuff. Look, all that stuff adds up. Let me tell you, I was hanging out with the HBO crew, and I won't mention any names, but I went to an HBO party. I used to go to HBO parties all the time, and this guy introduced me to his wife, and he would have me like chaperone his wife. He's an HBO president, vice president. He had me chaperone his wife, all right, about petite now. So anyway, I said, cool. So anyway, so he shows up to parties with his hoe, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know how to react. You know where I'm coming from? So anyway, he happened to cross my mind because he gave a friend of mine a call the other day, and I won't say who it was, but the bottom line is HBO, of course, when they walked away from boxing, it's been 10, 11 years now, Sock?
Something like time flies, yeah. It's been...
Now Showtime is leaving. I think the writing was on the wall when USA Cable walked away from their number one show, you guys. It was their number one show on the cable network. I mean, how can you walk away from the top show on your network, a 2-hour show? How can you walk away from it?
Was it a change in leadership?
Some broad became the CEO.
Okay, there you go.
But I couldn't believe it. I called their office. I was screaming at her secretary. I was screaming at her. I said, "You can't cancel the number one show." She goes, "We just did." That's basically what she told me.
USA had 3 things. They had wrestling, they had boxing, and they had the dog show.
The dog show. Yeah.
Once a year. I mean, so
that's true.
Yeah. So
And you know what? Where I think wrestling was at its peak when when that was going on. Of course, the WCW wars back and forth. Speaking of wrestling, you guys,
Mm-hmm.
do you think Vince McMahon has been a plus or a minus to the business?
I mean,
I think he's got to be a plus because he changed it, to make it, everybody knows it's fake, but he made it.
Bro.
But
You don't get it. We used to go to arenas when we were as young adults and this and that, and you believed your kayfabe was cool when Sock knows what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
When you walked in the room, and when the Sheik came up the aisle and he turned and he ran at you, you got up and ran the hell out your seat.
Yeah,
You ran for your life.
Yeah, well, he made it more commercial. They had the
Right.
cartoon, and they
He
made
punked it out, man.
Yeah.
He punked it out, and he told people it was fixed.
Yeah,
You don't
he did.
tell people
Curtain back.
they were about to fix something.
He got the celebrities and MTV right at the time.
But wasn't it enough when we just knew it was kayfabe? But kayfabe was an art.
It was.
You used to have a wrestling show. I remember.
I did like we did. A little
You had Jim Cornette on, if I remember.
No, I think I ripped Jim Cornette.
You ripped it.
I think I ripped Jim Cornette. Jim Cornette and me, we met one time at a show, and he started. I said, I walked away from him. I don't hear that shit.
Wow.
But I mean, I'm not knocking Jim Cornette, but just when he went into that little Jim Cornette spiel on me, I just turned around and walked away.
And weren't you're cool with what's the guy with the torch, the pro wrestling torch? Meltzer.
Oh, we used to be cool. You know what's weird is me and him were like partners at the fights, and I had him on the show for years and years and years. And then I saw him about 3 or 4 years ago at a wrestling match, and he didn't recognize me, and it pissed me off. Sorry, but it did. It just did. I was like, what? Say what? So anyway, because he's got a great memory. I mean, he's probably one of the best writers I've ever met in my life. And I told him that long before the Ford or whatever that guy's name was with the National Sports Daily. He wrote that he was one of the best writers ever. I wrote all kinds of stuff about Dave Meltzer years before that, because Meltzer put out that newsletter, and that newsletter was like, when kayfabe was cool, that newsletter was even better.
Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't mean to change the subject of wrestling anyway.
No, that's cool.
You're talking to two marks.
Yeah, we're big wrestling marks too. So I mean,
let me finish on the McMahon thing. Nobody's done more to. He's sort of like Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? I mean, everything he's done for him. He hasn't done nothing for kayfabe. He did nothing for the business. Mayweather doesn't do anything for the business. Mayweather does it for himself. And that money thing, more props to him, man. But and they keep saying that he belongs with the Fab Four. Man, you got to be kidding me. You would put him in the ring with Marvin Hagler. You put him in the ring with Roberto Duran, Tommy Hearns, or Ray Leonard. You know what? I would bet 3 mortgages and 2 lifetimes that they knock him out.
Wow. So you don't think he'd be competitive with any one of those 4 guys?
Not at 147. Hell no.
Not even Sugar Ray?
Hell, are you kidding?
He'd probably.
Are you kidding? Did you really just say that?
At 47?
The greatest welterweight in the history of boxing?
Wow.
I mean, how can you? No, don't shake your head, bro. I'm telling you, he beat Tommy Hearns. Tommy Hearns was the most unbeatable man in the entire world. But the second fight,
I thought.
No, we're not talking about the second World War. Second fight, I was there. Without a doubt, he lost the second fight. But then again, they were fighting unnatural weights for Ray. That was 168 pounds. Tommy fit into 168 pounds perfectly. He could fit into 175, 190. You couldn't see Ray fighting 175, 190.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. Yeah.
And when Ray fought him, he had silver dollars in his pocket.
Yeah.
No, he did.
That's a good point. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, because it was a different weight class. So.
He had coins on him. But pound for pound, Ray Robinson told me that Ray Leonard was the greatest. What did he say? He said Ray Leonard. I think he said that Ray Leonard was the greatest welterweight of all time. The reason why I say that he was welterweight too, went undefeated as welterweight, is that he said to me, "quote Ray Leonard is a faster, harder hitting version of me." What does that say?
Wow.
And he told me that Duran would be, even that Duran had just knocked out Tommy Hearns just knocked out Duran in 2 rounds. I was all depressed in my room across from Sugar Ray Roberts in the Latin Hotel. I mean, I couldn't smoke enough weed that night. I mean, drinking, nothing, no drugs were going to take. It was an afternoon fight, man. So it's like, I got the whole evening. So he brought me over in his room. He's wearing a pink bathrobe and a pink shower cap. Like he had rollers on underneath. Remember the old days, the old rollers?
Yeah.
Ray Robinson had the rollers going on.
Wow.
So anyway, he sits me down. His wife Millie asked me if I want anything. I said, no. I'm just honored to be here and I can do stuff. And he told me, I said, let's talk about great fighters. Blah, 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 blah. And he said, yeah. He goes, even though Hearns knocked out Duran today, I said, yeah. I said, Duran's a greater fighter than Hearns. And I said, what? He said, oh, without a doubt. He was the ability to move up to he was like 125 pounder. He moved up to what? To 147 pounds, 154 pounds. Listen, when he fought Tommy Hearns, it was a mismatch. The height and size and the reach and that kind of good stuff. Les Duran was 175 pounds 3 days before, that kind of good stuff. He had discipline problems all the way up until I think the Hearns knockout. I think the Hearns knockout sort of woke him up. And because he used to feel, I was in his camp 3 or 4 different times. And he was always of the opinion, if his weight was right, he was right. And that ain't right. I mean, you look at Muhammad Ali, 217 and a half for Larry Holmes. Life wasn't right.
Wow. That's a good point.
We can go so many different routes with your career in media and you as a fighter.
This is not blow Pedro Fernandez up here, man. No. Let's talk about the sport of boxing. In fact, the boxing is hurting so bad that they got to move. That Socrates Palmer has to come off the bench. They're trying to get you to fight Crawford or Canelo. No, I'm just kidding. But they're trying to get Crawford, a welterweight, a guy's 147 pounder, to step up and fight a guy at 168 pounds and saying that's the super fighter of 2024. If that's the case, watch this game.
Yeah. Because it's a mismatch. It's 2 big names, but that's 3 weight classes, like 54,
yeah, 63. But here's what's up. As far as boxing ability is concerned, no, I'd pick Crawford over Canelo in a minute if they were boxing at the same weight.
I think I would too. Yeah.
If they were both just welterweights, so like Canelo turned pro 146. But if they're both like junior middleweights, I give Crawford all the props. It's the added bulk.
Yeah.
It's the added bulk, and of course we talked about Flintstone vitamins earlier. He's been I know what it was. The most ridiculous story I've ever heard in the history of anabolic steroids, performance enhancing drugs, outside of what the denials coming from Mr. Palmer. Okay, was that he got steroids by eating the meat.
The meat, yeah.
Every Mexican on the planet would be flunking drug tests and steroid tests and all that kind of good stuff. All the Mexican fighters, 118 pounds, 120 pounds, they'd all flunk.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you mentioned the Mexican fighter. A couple of weeks back, not to name drop, but a former colleague of yours, Raul Marquez, we asked, is Canelo Alvarez the greatest Mexican fighter of all time? He, without hesitating, he said, hell no. Hell no. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
Give me your top 5 Mexicans of all time. Go.
I don't know if you can pick them as far as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and that kind of stuff is concerned. Salvador Sanchez checked out at 23, and he did have some difficulty in that last fight. I saw him knock out Wilfredo Gomez. And when he knocked out Gomez was the pound-for-pound king of boxing, you guys. He was 32-0-1. I think he turned pro with that draw, and then went on a knockout string of 32 straight fights, including Carlos Zarate, the former world bantamweight champion at that point in time. So he was the pound-for-pound king. And Sanchez went in there and bitch slapped him. I mean, it was like, he was frightening. He broke his bone. He broke his face. When I broke Keith Rucker's face in a Golden Glove fight, I didn't know about it. But when he hit Gomez in the first round, he broke his orbital bone. He broke his orbital bone. And Gomez, people knock him and say that he had some shortcomings later in life as far as the upper weight classes were concerned. Yes, there was some performance where he wasn't at his best and that kind of good stuff. But man, I'm telling you, he took a hell of a shellacking from Sanchez. And if he was a dog, he could have gave up a lot sooner.
Yeah, and it was a little bit before my time, but I have seen that fight. And Bazooka Gomez had a mean streak.
Mexico and Puerto Rico, baby. They had a mariachi band on one side of the ring and a salsa band on the other side of the ring. It was Battle of the Bands. Top five Mexicans. Sanchez, I would put in the top 5, but I would put him there with an asterisk because of the fact he checked out so early. Okay, and the fact that you're only giving him that Gomez. Listen, the Azuma Nelson fight. Anyway, but the fact that he beat Gomez weighed 130 pounds that morning, you guys. I was at the weigh-in.
He started the weigh-in, right?
126-pound weigh-in.
But was it same-day weigh-in that night? That day?
Same-day weigh-in. He weighed 130 pounds for 126-pound weigh-in. So I looked at Chuck Minker, and Chuck Minker, so Suleiman waved the weight. He came down like a pound.
Wow.
But here's the truth. He weighed. Here's the trip. Is that he went to bed at 26 and a half, naked. He woke up and went downstairs at 30, and they couldn't figure it out. Well, I could figure it out because you're a scheming fighter when you can't drink or any that kind of stuff. One time, you guys, I'm a cop to it. I drank the water out of the toilet tank.
What?
Not the toilet bowl, the tank.
The tank.
Yeah, they shut the water off in the house.
Wow.
They wanted me to. Listen. I had a weakness for water.
That's crazy.
Just like Gomez had a weakness for water. I'm trying to say Gomez put on 4 pounds. I never put on 4 pounds, anything like that. But I had a weakness for water. I took 2 sips. I opened up the top of the toilet tank and took 2 sips of water. I was still dying. I hadn't had no water. I mean,
oh my God.
My mother saved me. My mother saved me in boxing by making these ice cubes made out of Kool-Aid. Okay, and she'd give, and I'd come home. This and that, dinner would be like a couple pieces of broccoli and a little fish and that kind of shit, right? And dessert would be, 3 or 4 ice cubes.
It could be worse. You could be like Manuel Marquez and drank piss, right?
That is true. Slapped out of him by Floyd.
One of the second generations of the Alou brothers, of the Alou family, as far as baseball was, I think it was Moises or something, said that he got his batting grip together by rinsing his hands in piss every day. Well, his boys stopped shaking his hand.
Was that Moises? It might have been Moises.
Yes, yeah. For the calluses. Yes,
that's your Dominican. That's your Dominican brother.
Maybe cousin. So now, it's amazing. You said Salvador Sanchez died at 23, but he beat about 3 Hall of Famers. Azuma. He beat.
But here's what's up.
Little Red Lopez.
Azuma Nelson was a green. I'm sorry.
Yeah, right. He wasn't a professional.
Azuma Nelson was green as guacamole.
Right.
He was green. He had only fought in Ghana against B-level guys, C-level guys. They brought him in there as a quick win for Sanchez. Didn't work out that way. Okay, I think he had to work him to the 15th round before it stopped him. But Azuma was young at that point. He was a future Hall of Famer. There was no doubt about that. So he beat him, and he beat Danny Little Red Lopez. And you guys, I know, are we being filmed? Anyway, I know I shouldn't say this, but I never got in the ring with him. Okay, I got in the ring with Bazooka Lamont, but I never got in the ring with Danny Little Red Lopez. I couldn't see him hitting me. But then again, who was it? I couldn't see Cuevas hitting me. I mean, yikes! I couldn't. But if he hit you, he'd kill you. But he was so slow and he was so methodical. And I just think he could be either working both sides with the jab on him, okay, and just keeping these guys because you're bigger and strong, using natural height and reach God gives you. But all-time excellent fighters. Back to all-time excellent fighters. I would say that Canelo probably belongs somewhere about, I don't know, because of the draw and everything. I get probably about 5 or 6 somewhere around there. I don't know what guys you can put in between there. I think Zarate was a great fighter, but
Chavez.
Well, Chavez is in a league by himself, I think. Of course, here's what's up. You want to hear the dirt on Chavez?
Talk to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
And about his 8th fight, he's down there and somewhere in Mexico. You know that you know where rules are, where Jose had the rules, where Jose was the rules. Okay. So anyway, Chavez knocks this dude down, right? And he hits the guy 3 times when the guy's on a knee. Okay, so the referee disqualified him. Okay, and then the next day, Suleiman went to the boxing commission. They turned that shit into a no contest.
Wow.
Didn't even happen.
Wow, that's crazy.
Hey, that almost got me killed at the night before the Chavez Taylor fight, March of 1991, I think it was. I was looked at 1993, which year was. You know, I was looking for Mexicans. I went to Las Vegas Hilton to do this show, to do a story on the fight, and there wasn't no Mexicans at Las Vegas Hilton. It turned out it was too pricey. But anyway, so I went up to North Las Vegas, and I told the taxi driver, "Take me where there's Mexicans." He's okay. I'll take you where there's Mexicans. Okay. So he took me to North Las Vegas, and he drops me off at a bar, this and that. And I get out, and the first sign that this is the wrong place for me to be is that there's blood. There's a big puddle of blood on the sidewalk. Okay, and you're laughing, Sock. I still got to go inside. Anyway,
wow.
So I go inside. I hook these guys up in a conversation. We're talking about Chavez, this and that. So I brought up the fact that Chavez had lost that one fight, this and that. And man, don't shake your head, man. Let me tell you, them dudes. The one dude, I thought he was reaching for a gun.
Oh my God.
Okay, I thought he was reaching for a gun. So you know, like I walked in the place. I walked out the place the same way I walked in, backwards. I mean,
you moonwalked.
Oh, I couldn't believe it.
You hiked up the pants.
Hey, and then I remember Chuck Migger telling me, "What were you doing in North Las Vegas? You're fucking an idiot." Blah blah blah. Like the time Don King told me. Don King said, "Don't go to East St. Louis, Pedro," because East St. Louis has got this store. They got stores where there were pimp socks and pimp clothes and that kind of stuff, like back in the 70s, that kind of stuff. So I heard about this. I wanted to go to East St. Louis badly. Okay, so Don King says to me, "Don't be a stupid motherfucker, Pedro. Don't bring your ass to East St. Louis. You'll get killed." I laughed at him, right? So we went to East St. Louis with a film crew because I'm going to do the story about Corey Spinks, you know, the future blah 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 blah. Corey Spinks fights at Judah that night. So anyway, I think so. It was 2 days before the fight. I bring the film crew into East St. Louis. We're driving around. I go, "See those guys right there?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "We're going to go around the corner one more time." I said, "We're going to film those guys." And I'm going to say, "From the mean streets of East St. Louis to the World Championship." Have a picture, you know, do the graphics with Corey Spinks, right? So anyway, we pull over to film these guys, and they pulled out guns.
Wow.
So yeah, they pulled out guns. So the dude that's filming this told me, "Hey man, they got guns." So I jumped on the gas pedal, I got out of there. So I went back, and later that night, I said to Don King, I said, "Yes, I went to say." He goes, "Motherfucker, I told you not to go to St. Louis. I hadn't even told him what happened yet." You know what I'm saying? He goes, "I told you not to go to St. Louis." I said, "Well, you're going to probably laugh about this." So I told him the story. He almost fell off the chair. He almost saw. I goes, "I told you. I told you." I said, "But they got the best leather jackets in the world. They do. They got pimp stuff there. You know what I mean? Stuff that you couldn't see in Frisco."
Speaking of Don King, how interesting of a man was Don King?
One of the world's smartest men. Shot one man in the back. Shot another man. Then he got into a beef with the man. He owed him $670 as far as a numbers debt was concerned. And Don was kicking his ass on the ground. The Cleveland police rolled up and they said, "Freeze!" And Don said, "Motherfucker!" and kicked him one more time and killed him.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's the one Don King went to jail for, and he was pardoned. Bought himself a pardon from the governor for $250,000. That's what allowed him to go into all those countries. He couldn't have gone into all the different places had he been a felon.
Mm-hmm.
No way, no how. But
that's the best investment of all time.
Let me tell you what a hard worker he is. For the Tyson McNeely fight, he and I were doing international radio out of some booth somewhere. I forget, Las Vegas, something like that. So he says, "Hey, we're going to do this stuff until 2:30 in the morning." So it's 3:30 in the morning. We're not done yet. Anyway, so I told him, hey, Don, I got to go to sleep. I got to go to sleep, man. I got to go to sleep. I was, "Oh, okay. He's drinking whiskey the whole day, all day long, right? Drink whiskey. 6:30 in the morning, he was downstairs again, doing this thing again. Okay? And people say he's a cold, mean prick and that kind of good stuff. I'm going to tell you what Don King said to me one time. it really touched my heart. I had my daughter with me, and he said to me, he said, Pedro, do you have a nanny for your daughter? Do you have a nanny for Jackie when you go on air tomorrow night? And I said, yeah, I already do. So okay. I mean, come on, man. Dude's checking on me for a nanny.
Yeah, that's
so
pretty cool.
So yeah, so he's got some shit. Then in other times he screamed at me, and when I had the inside line to Mike Tyson, 893-1906. I won't say what the zip code was, but that was the phone number. Okay, so when Mike Tyson got out of jail, I had this private phone number for Mike. So I was calling Mike on the phone. Me and Mike were talking. Mike used to call me Flash. He thought I was Flash Gordon. I didn't bother correcting him. Didn't even bother. So anyway, Don picked up the phone with it. Motherfucker, Pedro, I'm calling on. That was it. It was the end of the Tyson. But outside of that, he sponsored my show for a while. He gave me some nice TV gigs. He paid all the time. I mean, he never had to worry, ever had to worry about getting paid by Don King. I mean, all these guys talk about not getting paid. I always got paid, and everybody around me always got paid.
You mentioned the international. They did some international broadcast. The other day, Bob Sheridan passed away. Did you have any type of relationship with him?
Me and Sheridan did a lot of DKP fights together. In fact, I was the number 2 guy for about 2 years there for DKP. I guess about 2004, somewhere around there. About the time Mitch Halpern killed himself, that referee down there in Vegas, because we televised his last fight. Me and the Colonel televised his last fight. Did I ever tell you? I told you a story about him when he picked me up at Arizona Charlie's. One night I was a ring announcer. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Arizona Charlie's in Las Vegas. Blah blah, top rank. Blah 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 blah. Bob Arum gave me a gig. Okay. So anyway, I'm doing this ring announcing gig. I get done, and Mitch Halpern. I walk out to the to get my car, to get into a cab, and Mitch Halpern's got the valet thing, So he say, Pedro, you want to get a ride? And I said, yeah, why not? Okay, so anyway, he drives, and he ain't going on the main strip, you guys. He drives into like this dark part of the desert, stops the car, pulls the gun out from underneath the seat, and puts it between his legs. Okay, this is the guy, the referee, the first Mike Tyson, Vander Holyfield fight. Okay, so I don't know what to do. I don't know whether to grab for the gun. I don't know what to get. Because if I get out and run, I'm in the desert. It's black. There's nothing around us for miles. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, he said to me something like, hey, Pedro, you think I should have stopped that Jimmy Garcia fight? Because Jimmy Garcia got killed in the fight with Gabriel Ellis. And I said, yeah, I think you should have. He goes, I should have stopped this fight tonight. And I'm thinking, well, maybe you should have. I don't really know what to say. I'm looking at the gun. You know what I'm saying? So he goes, oh, okay. So he starts the car up and he drives away. But I told the Nevada State Athletic Commission the next day, and they sort of like didn't believe me, or didn't want to believe, because he was the chosen one. He was their white chosen referee. He might even been part of the really gifted crew, if you know what I'm talking about.
He was actually even had a cameo in the movie. The movie Played to the Bone with Antonio Banderas and Woody Harrelson. He was only 33 years old when he offed himself.
Yeah, here's what's up. I won't say the girl he was whacking, and I won't say the boyfriend, because he was a big connected guy down there in Vegas. But evidently, Mitch Halpern, according to my attorney, Mitch Halpern went to this guy's office because he chased his girl. He followed his girlfriend to this guy's office. So he followed his girlfriend into this guy's office and blew his brains out in front of both of them.
Wow,
that's some traumatizing shit.
He could have killed me.
Well, the good die young, Pedro.
That's funny.
I didn't know that. Yeah, that was right. Yeah, that did. Whoa. Say, whoa. Maybe that's why Don King and Bob Arum are still going.
There you go. There you go.
Although I will say this, Don King has shorted people over the years. For the record, Muhammad Ali was supposed to get $8 million for the comeback fight with Larry Holmes, October 2nd, 1980. He only got $4 million, and instead King promised him another fight, get him another title fight, that kind of stuff. And Ali was so delusional at that point in time. I'm serious. He waived the $4 million. He signed off on it. Herbert Muhammad went nuts because Herbert Muhammad, the Muslims. Remember those guys?
Mm-hmm.
Those guys were the biggest pimps in the history of the planet. I mean, listen, anybody pimping hoes, you got nothing on the Muslims. The Muslims put Muhammad Ali, they forced him back in the ring less than 90 days after the Thriller Manila. Think about that.
Yeah.
He should have been off a year.
Well, he should have retired.
Less than 3
They were
months.
retired, but they had him back. They had him back training 45 days later. The Muslims did. They signed this fight. Herbert Muhammad would sign these fights. So don't you understand? And I told Ali, I asked Ali, we were together in a bus, a little van somewhere in China. I can't remember what it was. I said, you know who Colonel Tom Parker was? I said, he was Elvis Presley's manager. Oh yeah. The Colonel. Yeah. He goes, not sure. Parker. Anyway, he says, I said, he got to deal with Elvis where for every dollar he made, Elvis got $1. I said, that's sort of like the same deal you got with the Muslims. For every dollar you get, they get $1. Is it worth it? And he looked at me, he says, are you ready for this, you guys? If I wasn't a Muslim, I'd just be another nigga ex-fighter.
Wow.
That's what he told me. Which one? Here's what I can say the N-word on this one. Can't say it. If I say it on my show, Bailey gets all freaked out. He gets all freaked out. But I got to tell you like this.
You drop it. We say it all day.
I don't know. I'm not French. I don't know where this we come from. I'm not.
I say it to keep my teeth white. Like,
listen. You know, Ali. When me and Ali were like we're touring around China at one point in time, and he said something about. He said we were talking about niggas, and he said to me, "The Mexicans are the new niggas." Wow. That's what he said. He goes, "The Chinese were the first niggas." That's what he said.
That is true. They built the railroad.
That's what he said. He goes, the Chinese were the first niggas. He goes, and now it's the Mexicans and niggas. He goes, but if you're not blonde hair and blue eyes like your mother, we're all niggas.
Wow.
Talking to me. He's right. I mean, it's just the way it is. We get off the racial subject here for a second. Back to the Mexican fighters. Chavez stands alone.
I agree.
Listen, when he lost to Meldon Taylor, or when he beat Meldon Taylor, okay, but even if he lost that fight, right, he was fighting 15 pounds heavier than his normal weight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The Meldrick Taylor fight, controversial ending, but who's the real blame of that fight?
Lou Duva.
Lou Duva was the blame.
Big old fat Lou Duva, the Fred Flintstone of boxing.
Everybody blames the ref.
No, I was there though. I was in.
I know. I'm just saying. A lot of people.
I'm looking at Richie. Richie Steele's looking at me. He's looking at Meldrick, and Meldrick's not looking at him. Meldrick's looking over here to his right. He's looking in his corner because let me tell you, this is what sort of. I never did this. Okay. But in the amateurs, they always tell you if you get knocked down, look to your corner. What the fuck am I going to look to my corner for? You know what I'm saying? I don't look to my corner. I'm trying to get my shit. Am I okay enough to get up? I mean, I've thought about that. I'm going to tell you this. When I was in National Golden Gloves and I fought Ernie Chavez lost the decision to Meldrick Taylor as a pro. And he fucked Meldrick up. Anyway, how can I put this? I hit him with everything. I mean, the first round, it was like, damn, this is a one-sided fight until he hit me one time. And size matters in two things, pornography and combat sports. This guy was a legitimate 147-pounder. I was a 139-pounder that should have been fighting 132. You know what I'm saying? You find this shit out at the most inopportune moments, soccer. When do you find out you're not a welterweight? When you're in with a decent welterweight. Because I went down to the valley and I beat all those bums. I mean, they put all those cowboys in front of me and those farm hands and that kind of good stuff. And I beat 2 or 3 of them. I beat 2 of them one night in the same night. And they asked me to do a third fight. And the ABF said, no, we can't do 3 fights in a night. Well, you know, but when talking about guys that couldn't spell box, you know, give you 3 letters. XOB.
Can any other name guys that you sparred or fought with in the amateurs?
The guys that let me tell you the Bazooka Lamone story. Bazooka Lamone is getting ready for Cornelius Bose Edwards, and I think he loses the title of Bose Edwards. Okay, so he comes to San Francisco looking for southpaw sparring, right? So my trainer says, trainer Chris Goldsmith says, he goes, that old motherfucker's so slow, blah, 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 blah. And he's trying to pump me up, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not even thinking about sparring with you. I'm not even thinking about it. And Sonny Marshall goes, hey, they want a couple of rounds. And Chris goes, okay. And I'm saying to myself, what? You know what I'm saying? What? Anyway, before I say anything, you can't say what in front of your trainer. So anyway, he says, yeah, but we got to have the first 2 rounds. He goes, we got to have the first 2 rounds. He goes, no. He goes, I don't give a shit. He goes, no. He goes, we don't have the first 2 rounds, and I get it. So I went out there in the first round and I was scared, didn't throw too many punches. And came back for the first round. He said to me, "Motherfucker," he pulled that Teddy Atlas kind of shit. "You want me to leave on you? The whole gym's watching you and you're shaming us, man. You're supposed to be throwing on this. Throw on this dude." So I threw on him. I threw on him in the second round. I laid him up pretty good a couple of different times, a couple of different flurries and step back. But here's what's up. He sparred 10 rounds that day, okay? When he got into the fourth and fifth round, he was knocking guys down. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's how, whoa. And that's why Chris Gomez was so slick to get me in there first. Because if he got me in there second or third, I'd have probably left horizontal.
Wow. Okay. So he needed a few rounds to lather up.
Yeah,
warm up.
A monster. He was a monster. I mean, yeah. But I only ran from one guy in my life, and that was Zach Padilla. He ended up being the IBF world champion. And I won 2 Golden Glove titles, and they told me in my first open fight, which is your first 3-minute rounder, that I was going to fight Zach Padilla. And we got a VHS tape of Zach Padilla, and he looked like the world champion. He turned out to be later as a pro. And I said, "I ain't going to beat this dude right now." And Chris goes, "Oh, yeah. No, F you. All right. No, we ain't taking this one." So I took the film home. We all the whole team watched it. My stepfather, my mother, all that. No. We ain't messing with Zach Padilla. So now when Zach Padilla has a birthday on Facebook, he retired I think undefeated with 1 loss, controversial loss. But he got injured. But when he posts his birthday or something like that, I always bring up the story that I ran from this dude. And guess what? That was one of the smartest things I've ever done in my life. And the smartest thing I did when Ernie Chavez hit me that second time in the second round and knocked me out. When I got up, you guys, I looked across the ring and there was 8 of them. 8 Ernie Chavez, like, whoa. And then I look at the referee. The referee goes, "Hey, you want to continue? How do you feel? You okay? You want to continue?" I look at him, and there's 3 of him. There's 11 dudes in the ring.
He's about to jump you.
Okay, there's only supposed to be 3. All right. So the guy said, "You want to continue?" "Oh, yeah, no." I said, "No." Shook my head, got the hell out of there. But anyway, yeah, that sort of, how can I put this? I was back in the gym training a week later to get back down to 139 pounds. Was that 140? Because here's what's up. He told me later when he fought Melvin Taylor. In fact, I did one of his pro fights down there in Irvine, California. Ernie Chavez was something undefeated welterweight at that time. But he told me that when he fought me on Thursday, we weighed in on a Monday. He weighed 165 pounds. Okay, wow. And I only weighed like 141 and maybe change. But here's what's up. Size matters. 2 things: pornography and combat sports. What's on your mind, man? What's new with you?
It's an honor to have you on the show, brother. It's
no, but I don't want to talk about just me, man. I'm bored already.
You're getting bored already?
I'm bored. Oh, and I tell you what,
I got
I'll say this. I did set broadcast history. I televised the first ever professional boxing match with the People's Republic of China, 1993.
Let's talk about that.
It was Himalaya. It was a brawl at the wall. Leoza Barber topped it in the WB 175-pound bout. But that was the first boxing match ever in the People's Republic of China since 1949 and take over a Mao Zedong. So wow. Mao left and I came back.
Nice.
A couple of days ago, it was the birthday of Emanuel Steward, if he was still around, right? Or was it?
He would have been pretty old by now. He would have been 79.
Talk to me about the Kronk father, the Gold father.
Gold father. I miss him, man. Before I get to Emanuel Steward, let me tell you a story about Michael Moore. He was a former light heavyweight champion, or he became WBO light heavyweight champion, something like that. Anyway, so Michael Morris got a room at Emanuel Steward's house. Like, a bunch of rooms there. I had my own room there too, but there's a bunch of rooms in this house. Okay, and across the street, lived Leon Spinks later, that kind of stuff. So anyway, Michael, all of a sudden they heard boom, and the whole house shakes. You guys, you see how that camera shook? The whole house shook. Okay, and Emanuel said, "What the fuck? An earthquake in Detroit?" No, earthquake. That was an explosion. Well, it turns out Michael Moore was making bombs in his room. Okay?
What?
And he took a bomb out, set it up, put it on the fence. He blew the gate off the wall. He blew the gate off the fence. You know the gate, when there's a gate coming into there, he blew the gate off the wall, the fence, whatever you want to say. He blew it off. Michael.
Why? What was it? What was he trying to do?
The dude was making bombs in his room.
That's
I've
crazy.
been lucky. I've met some pretty cool guys. Michael Moore, I guess Michael Moore was a dick. He was
Really?
he's just not, I mean he just didn't want to be bothered. He's just kind of a dick. I don't care. I can say that. He's old right now, so I can say that.
He pulled a couple he pulled a couple things on me with the attitude, this and that. And I remember one time in Sacramento, I told him, I said, "Motherfucker, you ain't all that much." No, just like that, motherfucker, you ain't all that much. And Emanuel says to me, he goes, "No, man." I said, "He ain't got to talk to me that way. He ain't gonna disrespect me like that."
Yeah, he's a dick.
Wow.
He's a dick. I met him at the Garden once, and he was just. I was like, you know what? I'm glad George Foreman knocked your ass out.
What's Michael Moore famous for besides building bombs?
Getting knocked out by George.
Getting knocked the fuck out by an old man.
Yeah.
With
a 1-2.
Yeah.
Oh man, the most classic 1-2 in boxing. It was like it was an ugly little combination. Looked like a little crippled combination.
It did look funny the way he threw the punches. It was stiff, and it was just like, and he ate it. And
that was the first time I ever realized, because you would always hear like old boxing heads, the last thing that leaves you is your punch. Yeah, now I know what you mean.
I don't know. I just think that he was a big puncher to begin with. He always punched. I mean, I watched him in the gym. He used to bully guys. I mean, he used to beat up guys Socrates size, man. I mean, he was like 210 pounds. He's beating guys. You know, he lifted Joe Frazier off the ground at one time. He used to do that in sparring. My father used to call him a bully. Okay, my father used to bully.
Did you ever get to see the movie? I think I saw it on Netflix. The George Foreman movie. You ever got to watch it?
No, I'm not a Foreman fan. I'm not a fan of the George Foreman then, but now, he truly experienced a metamorphosis. I mean, it wasn't like just like, hey, I'm going to do this front here, I'm going to front off, be the God guy. No, he is the God guy. He really is the God guy. I mean, I'm not into God all that much, but I got to say that I think that he truly believes what he does is righteous, and he's doing well for people, and for the most part, he seems to be a productive guy. And let's be honest, that grill thing he had, Larry, I said, the Sock's shaking his head up now. You got a grill sock? You got one?
Of course.
Everybody got one. Anyway, I told Larry Merch, I said to him, I said, yeah, George pretty smart, made that $25 million. He goes, you mean not? He goes, $125 million. I said, what? It was $125 million. But back to the Goldfather, Emanuel Steward. He's one of the smartest boxing men I've ever known in my life. One of the smartest men I've ever known in my life. I think he was a bit of a liberal politically until he got old. He had vices, and one of them was gambling. And he would gamble on anything from what kind of hat you're wearing to, I mean, he was a gambler. He didn't gamble on boxing, but he gambled on just about anything else. Okay? He loved to gamble. Rumors have it there were guys waiting for him when he got off the plane from the Klitschko fights.
Really?
This is stuff I don't even say on my own show. What am I saying?
Wow.
But I love him. I miss him. And 3 days before he died, 3 days before he passed, he sent me this is why you guys I don't do Twitter. My Twitter thing is not average Pedro. But this is the reason why I don't do Twitter, okay? Is that he tweeted me and 3 days later he was dead. Okay? And Nick Charles tweeted me and 2 days later he was dead. So that's why the Twitter thing is sort of weird, man. I really can't believe it. And the Emanuel died of colon cancer, okay, which is a preventable thing if you get colonoscopies.
Right.
Okay, at the age of 50, you're supposed to get them. If you've got shit in your family, maybe you should get them a little earlier. Okay, but you start taking those non-invasive colon tests, this and that, like take a piece of your doo-doo and stick it and send it to somebody and that kind of good stuff. You should do that kind of stuff because he didn't do it. And because of that, he's dead. Okay? And listen, and colonoscopy is not painful. It's you don't. They put you to sleep the whole 9 yards. The worst thing about the colonoscopy is you have to flush your system out. So they give you all these laxatives and these diuretics and this that. So you're like hanging in the bathroom for like 6 or 7 hours, maybe almost a day before you do it. But the bottom line is, once they tell you you're cool, you're cool. But Emanuel wouldn't do it. Black people don't get colonoscopies. I don't know what it is, man. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is.
It's weird. I mean, because like you said, it's preventable. It's just like carelessness, and until you get to it, it's like, oh, I'll get to it someday, and before you know it, it's too late.
Okay. Little Emanuel secret here.
Talk to me.
I think he had an affair with a female fighter. The female fighter,
$1 million.
The female fighter was so impressive in that the only fight she ever lost was to a man.
And in the movie, didn't she lose him? No, she won in the movie. She knocked out $1 Million Baby.
This girl had nothing to do with movies, bro.
Not Lucia?
That's
Lucia Riker?
Yeah, Lucia Riker. I thought they had something going on.
Wow.
Because he cared for her like a boyfriend for a girlfriend. Okay, and then it was, because I was around him with a lot of female fighters, but it wasn't like he was very guarded with her. He was very guarded with her. I was trying to think of the Emanuel had a prospect. I can't remember his name right now, but he was a kid that Emanuel invested like hundreds of thousands of dollars in, took care of his family, raised his family, and all that. He won like a national title as an amateur, JO title as that, and he flopped horribly as a professional. I mean, he just couldn't. He's killing me on the name right. Maybe anyway, Steward didn't make too many mistakes, except that he had a couple of vices, and he would have ran for mayor of Detroit. He would have won the mayorship had he not been a gambler.
Wow.
I got to meet him a couple of times. He was a great dude, very personable.
I would kiss his fucking hand. Give me the opportunity. If he put out the ring, I would do it.
Pope?
The Pope or the Godfather, I would do it. I mean, listen, man. I can't tell you. He offered me opportunities to go to Kiev and this and that, and I didn't want to do it. I wasn't anti-Klitschko. I mean, I was such an idiot that I didn't realize the business end of it. I just didn't want to deal with the Klitschkos. I didn't want to go to Ukraine.
You didn't like the Klitschkos as fighters, or
I didn't like them as fighters. I think they've done a lot to put the state of boxing in the state that it's in right now.
even Vitaly? I thought Vitaly was a good fighter. I mean, I wasn't really a big fan of Vlad.
Well, no, but all right. I'm not saying Vitaly wasn't a good fighter. Vitaly gave his all. Vladimir was a good fighter, but I just think that when the title left American hands,
Your volume went down for some reason. Sorry.
he controlled the heavyweight champion, controlled boxing. That was the rule up to Ray Robinson. And Robinson sort of changed it. And Ray Leonard definitely changed it. I mean, Ray Leonard would be the one that had to change it.
Yeah. Pedro, I think your volume is choppy. I don't know if that's Kiko. Is that you? That's not you, right?
Is that me?
Yeah, no, you're good now. Before, it was weird. Yeah. It went down for some reason. You're good now. Sorry.
That's all right.
We can't blame Daniel on that one.
Hey, here's what's up. I blame Daniel for everything. I don't blame Bailey for shit. You know why? Bailey's the boss's kid.
Okay.
Oh, smart.
Here's what's up, though. Listen, when I say Bailey's impeccable, he is. His last name is Peck, but he is. He is impeccable because you guys don't realize it. There's bombs going off in that studio. You hit the buttons and things don't happen, and this machine doesn't work, and that machine. We're talking like, listen, they got 1970s equipment in there. I'm not BSing you.
Jesus,
okay?
man.
So exactly, and other people like Scott Cutting would like have a stroke, okay? And he just sits there. And here's what's up: we're training him for this job was video games.
That was his training.
That's how he trained for this.
Jesus Christ.
No. That's what his father told me. That's what he mean. Because I figured if you can handle video games, you can handle this. And he's right. Because there's explosions going on. I'm looking at him through the glass, you guys. Shit is falling apart. He's like, just pimping along. You cannot ruffle him.
Last weekend was good. There was no problems last weekend. Last weekend was pretty good.
Last week was the best production me and Bailey had ever done together.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
And I think it was the best show that you and I have done, and it was the best show I've done in about 2 or 3 months as far as the Sunday edition is concerned. This is going to sound funny. I didn't run. I'm a runner. I didn't run in the summertime because unless I was fighting, and I didn't want to fight in the summertime too often. But against bums, I would. Never want to fight anybody good. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you're going to train 2, 3, 4 weeks, you go down the valley, get the kind of. Anyway, where was I before I got spaced out there?
What was the I don't know. Your volume had dropped, so I don't know. We finished with Emanuel
Is the
Steward.
volume good now?
Yeah, the volume's perfect. Yeah.
All right. Back to Emanuel Steward just for a second. Let's one more thing on Emanuel Steward. I think he was a face of boxing. I do. I really think he was a face of boxing as far as trainers and that kind of stuff. So Angelo Dundee was at one point in time, okay? And then Dundee sort of handed the mantle to him. And there was nobody in between, and there's been nobody since. Maybe Eddie Futch, okay? Eddie Futch. I will say this, of all the guys that I've been around, I think Futch was the smart. Futch and Stewart were the smartest. They had different approaches, you know what I'm saying? But they were the 2 most successful trainers I've ever met. They were the 2 most successful trainers maybe in boxing history.
Yeah, Eddie Futch was really good.
Papa Smurf. Smurf. He was a good old guy. I remember when I saw him the last time, I said to him, he was in a wheelchair, and I was sad to see him in a wheelchair. I walked. He was like 90 something. Anyway, so I walked up and I leaned up to our Godfather. How are you, man? He said, I'm okay. I said, what are you in a wheelchair? He goes, it's a long walk. I said, okay. I said, so you feeling okay physically? He goes, physically, yeah. And then he grabbed my hand, stopped, and he said to me, I'm slipping a little mentally. Imagine Eddie Futch admitting that.
Wow.
So I've had all these moments in my life with these different boxing people. Just been that just popped into my head there. But yeah, that was a special moment for me. Eddie was a good guy. Angelo was a good guy. Angelo would listen to this. I did an edition of Ring Talk one night, a 1-hour edition from the Canastota International Boxing Hall of Fame up there, and I called. I called Angelo Dundee's wife the wrong name for the entire hour. Her name was like Socrates, and I was calling her like Mark. You know what I mean? It's like, and they never said a word to me until the show was over. You guys, that's how kind those 2 were.
Wow.
That's how kind. I think her name was Helen.
No.
I think it was Helen. I was calling her, something else.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I thought he was a kindest man. I mean, listen, there are irreplaceable fixtures in history. I think Martin Luther King stands out as Bobby Kennedy, John Kennedy, people like that. But as far as boxing is concerned, you got people like Angelo Dundee, Muhammad Ali, and just a few other people. Ray Leonard to an extent. Roberto Duran, when he ran the world, he was the most feared man on the planet without a doubt. How are you guys? What's your spin on Duran there, Tommy D? What's your spin on Roberto?
I mean, it's before my time, but to me, I think he's top 10. I mean, it's hard to rank guys, especially if you haven't really seen them fight. You go back to videos, so. But I think because of the the multiple weight classes that he fought in and he was champion in, he fought.
You guys, he gave Marvin Hagler hell.
Yeah,
he busted Marvin Hagler up. Marvin said to me in Mexico one time. He said to me, he was the only time. I could never get him to compliment anybody. When we had this argument, we had the Leonard Hagler argument all over the planet. We had like 3 different continents, okay? But the only guy he ever complimented was Roberto Duran. He goes, that dude was good.
It's crazy. I think one of the knocks that Duran gets is that he lost to pretty much all those guys out of those 4 guys. I mean, he beat Leonard, but he also lost to Leonard, and he lost to Hagler.
He's the only one out of the Kings to beat Leonard.
Leonard, yeah. He lost to Hagler, he lost to Hearns.
The prime Leonard.
You have to realize, bro, I'm going to go back to weight size again. You know what I'm saying?
135
Listen, I really thought I was. I said to myself, I'm a big 139 pounder. When I went to the Olympic trials, I'm a big 139 pounder. I got in there at the weigh-in. I looked at Vincent Webb. That guy was like 15 pounds bigger than me. He weighed 139 too, but he sweat the weight off. You know what I'm saying? He did all kinds of crazy stuff to get down to the weight. That's when I realized I should have been fighting at 132. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, it's a little bit late at that point. And guess who picked Vincent Webb's name out of the hat? Me. I said to myself, the only motherfucker here that could beat me is number 9. So it's the only guy that says I'll lick every motherfucker in this room. I looked around, and I said that too. I said the only one I got to run, number 9. And what did I pick out? Number 9.
Jesus.
He was like, damn. I remember calling my mother and my trainer and the whole team on the phone that night, saying I picked Vincent Webb. I said, I ain't winning. and they go, oh, Pete, man, don't be so negative. Blah, 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 blah. You're such a shithead. Blah, blah, you're so negative. I said, no, Mom. I said, this guy's really good. She goes, so are you. And everybody, blah, 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 blah. I said, Mom, he's bigger than me. And then all of a sudden I heard, didn't hear nothing then. But I said, Mom, he's bigger than me. And she said, well, it was never a fact when you're on the street. The street's different, Mom. Street's different. See, she thought it would be the same thing. It was like to be these big guys up the street. She pulled me off one dude. I saw him a few weeks ago at an event, at an amateur boxing event, and she pulled me off this dude, and he called her a couple of names. Bitch, why'd you pull me up? You let us fight this night. She goes, are you sure? She goes, yeah. He goes, okay, Pete, go ahead, go back. I beat the piss out of him some more. She pulled me off him a second time, and when she pulled me off him the second time, she goes, do you want to talk any more shit now? This is a white lady in the street, you guys. It was hysterical. Hysterical.
Wow.
You want to talk? But yeah, she goes, oh, go call him back. He goes, bitch, why'd you stop the fight? Yeah, in fact, I saw him a couple weeks ago, but he brought it up. He goes, I remember what happened there. I said, man, don't bring it. He goes, no, I remember because I said, you don't need to bring it up. He goes, no, I acted a fool that night. I said, yeah, you did. I said, but my mother's one that got you whooped on some more.
Let me ask you a question. I know you brought this up. I've heard you a couple of times. He's one of my favorite fighters, even though he's before my time. Without saying anything bad, because I know you may say something bad, can you tell me a little bit about Benitez? Like, you sparred with Benitez.
I did. We sparred probably about 8 or 10 rounds together. Another one of those times when Chris Gomez, I came back after the first round, said to me, when he said, pull me that if you're shaming us, everybody's looking at you. Look up at the wall. See the wall. Those are your names up there on the wall. This ain't his gym. It's your gym. Blah blah blah. That kind of good stuff. And I'm saying he's Wilfred Benitez. That's what I'm saying. This guy's Wilfred Benitez. And he said to me, I remember. So I went out for the second or third round. And he said to me, he goes, Pete, he ain't shit. And I said to him, what do you smoke? Some shit like that. Right? I walked away. But he was right. He was absolutely right. This was 1984. I came back from the Olympic trials, Western Olympic trials in May of '84, and I was training with him. And he stayed in that corner, and I did like a Mustafa Hamcho type of number on him, but not nearly as hard or as forceful or as big. You know what I'm saying? But no, I was running combinations off on him in the corner.
Wow.
Just running them. Not killer shots, but just running them off and saying to myself, I gotta go with that. I gotta go with that. I gotta go with that. And that's what it was. I was getting away with stuff. The fact was, he was so shot at that point in time. And when we would have conversations afterwards, I get the right to tell him this. All he wanted to talk about was girls and sex. He couldn't talk about anything else. And then I finally figured it out. I guess about 2 or 3 months later, he split town. He took the money from the promoter and split. Without fighting, but I finally figured out a couple months later he was retarded. The whole time, don't look at me that way, bro. He was retarded the whole time. He's an idiot savant. That's the best way I could put it. And Sock knows what I mean by that. That's not a knock. That's like a compliment. It's like he like Werner von Braun, the guy that developed all those rockets. He couldn't do anything else, but he developed those rockets.
Yeah,
and that was the same thing with this guy.
And then you think that's
because about Manny Ramirez.
Yeah,
I think that his father should have been arrested for child abuse. Gregorio Benitez, he should have wrestled child abuse. I mean, Dennis Rappaport tried to set up funds for them. What they call those annuities, right? Gregorio broke into the annuities. The only one, I tell you what, on the team of 1984, the only one that didn't break into his annuity for the team of 84 was, guess who? Mark Breland.
Mark Breland. Mark
Breland, wow.
Mark Breland. Mark Breland is a sharp businessman. He's getting $50,000 a year for the rest of his life once he turned 50. Tax-free.
Smart. Wow.
Shelly Finkel said that. But Holyfield ate his up. Meldrick Taylor went into his, the whole 9 yards. Sock, you okay?
I'm good.
Okay. Good. Just checking.
I'm good.
Have another sip.
Have another.
I will. As soon as I finish from this one, I will.
Hey, here's this was funny. Is I live in an apartment in South San Francisco, California. I paid almost $2,000 a month. I was taking rent, which is sort of cheaper out here. But I can't smoke weed in my room, my bedroom, because the lady next door bangs to smell it. It goes through the walls. Okay, you know what I'm saying? So they're really assholes. So I'm like hiding out in my kitchen smoking weed. It's like I'm a little kid, man. Hiding from my parents. But I don't drink. I don't do anything else. I'm a big cannabis guy. I always have been.
Speaking of San Francisco, how's the promotion going over there with the Haney Prograis promotion? Like, I'm
not hearing much about it at all.
No, wow.
I'm gonna reach out to them next week or so.
Okay.
I haven't heard them, not much at all. I haven't heard of any big press conferences, nothing like that.
Well, they had the one, but I don't know. I don't even know where that was.
He's never fought here before, bro. Nobody knows.
I don't think so. No.
Nobody knows who he is. And he was telling everybody his hometown was Oakland, California, till this fight came up. Oh, wow. I'm from Oakland. No, brother, you're from San Francisco. You know where the gay guys are from. That's where you're from, San Francisco.
So he's really the kids say he's capping, right, nowadays. So he was really born in San Francisco, but you think he doesn't want to be associated with San Francisco because
he wants to be associated with black thuggery.
You think so? I don't.
I know. Hey, you know what? I met a dude one time. I'm not. I can't say that. Go on.
You can say it.
You can say it.
It's YouTube.
Nobody's gonna know except the people watching.
But in this, Charlie Murphy, the late Charlie Murphy, Eddie's brother, right?
Hilarious.
We were all at the McGuigan cruise fight. I think Duran was on that card too. Okay, McGuigan cruise fight. So Eddie was there. Charlie was there.
Cruz in McGuigan.
Yeah, Eddie was there. Eddie was there. Charlie was there. Who was the singer?
Not Rick James.
Rick James, exactly.
Rick James.
So Eddie Murphy had just released his record called "Everybody Wants to Party Now." My girl wants to party all the time. Some kind of crap like that, right? So he was trying to get me sort of like to endorse the record. You know what I'm saying? And the girl sitting around, I said, "No, so blood, you ought to stick to comedy." But Charlie Murphy said something I thought that was so cool. And he was talking about another black guy. And the black guy was really acting cool, eccentric, and black. And he said that was very niggerish. And I thought that was like, I know Scott is holding his head this and there, man. But I just thought that Charlie had a point there. Charlie, I mean, that's from the horse's mouth. But yeah, when he and
right up my alley, right?
Well, he did say that in the show.
He said
too.
that in the Chappelle.
He said, which is right up my alley, which is about Rick James. Yeah, he did say that. Yeah,
they were giving away 45s. I wouldn't even take one. You know what I'm saying? They had all these 45s. Give these 45s. None of those boxing. Maybe a couple of those kiss-ass boxing guys. Oh, I'll take one. Give me one. You know what I'm saying? No, give them to the girls out there, man. I think Michael Jackson was there that night. One night Michael Jackson was at the fights and we collided backstage.
What?
Yeah, we didn't. I mean, I was walking away. He was walking in. We said, waved to each other. That was it. You know.
Wow.
But that was the white version of Michael Jackson.
Okay. The white.
No. You don't know. You didn't know that. You don't know. Do I have to bring you back to a living color or what?
Nah.
I mean, come on, man. The guy. Listen. Let me tell you. When I saw him in the 70s with the Jackson 5, you know, he looked like Sock, right? And next time I saw him, he sort of looked like my mother.
like
It's
Sammy
just no way
Sosa.
there.
Like
The vitiligo. He has a vitiligo going.
I don't, man. I don't. Listen, that was a shame. He was not. Here's what's up. I met his father, Joe Jackson. Joe Jackson was a big fight fan. Joe Jackson used to tell me all this stuff about Michael, this and that. They tell me the next album coming out, history, all that kind of good stuff. But one thing about Joe Jackson is he always had the finest. He had the finest Asian bitches you could ever imagine in your life. I swear, you said YouTube. No, I think I'm just telling you the truth, man. This guy's like in his 70s, you know what I'm saying? And he's sporting like 22, 23-year-old Asian women, like 95, 100, 510 pounds, and buffed. You know what I'm saying? And I used to tell him, you always got the finest Asian bitches, Joe.
wow. That's crazy. That's
one of the funniest books, Charlie Murphy. If anyone's ever, if they ever want to read something, Charlie Murphy's book is hilarious.
really which was I
before he
didn't even know he had a book.
Before he passed away, yeah.
Okay.
He's a fascinating guy. He was an ex-Navy.
Yep.
vet.
Yep.
He was a legit tough guy. He's a black belt.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's the trip is that Bernie Ward went and he went.
Yeah. Bernie Mac,
not Bernie Mac.
Bernie Mac.
Yeah.
Bernie Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bernie Ward was the referee guy.
Yeah.
That was a great guy. And you had Dave Chappelle lives on.
Yeah.
I'm not a Chappelle fan. I went to a show a few months ago here in San Francisco. I booed him.
Really?
Oh yeah, he booed. He brought that punk ass guy Elon Musk up there on the stage.
Oh, okay.
So we're no. I'm not in. No. Let me. Did you know the people walked out on Chappelle this week at a show? Have you looked at reading?
Well,
no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because he gave his opinion on the Israel-Palestine stuff.
Here's what's
It's a shame.
But
There's no right or wrong.
They've been fighting longer than Marcus of Queensbury. You know what I'm saying?
Since David and Goliath.
They nothing gonna change there, man.
No.
I don't think nothing's ever gonna change there. Although I do think those people should have got their piece of real estate back in 1949.
This is a Jew network page. Watch your mouth.
What?
YouTube is Jew.
Oh shit!
Just in case you Jews don't know. So we gotta be careful. We're not trying to
say that. So anyway, listen. I would tell you guys to try to go see boxing shows in different parts of the world, but they're not the same anymore. I know it's sort of a little bit weird, but when I saw Prince Nassim Ahmed come into the ring on a magic carpet in London, that was some shit, you guys. I mean, that was the event of all the stuff I've been to.
Who did he fight that fight?
Huh?
Who did he fight that fight?
Johnny Bungu.
Okay. That wasn't the Halloween one, right? No, the Halloween one he came in dancing like I think Thriller or something like that.
Bungu was from South Africa, right?
South Africa, yeah. But he came into the ring that night on a magic carpet. That was the night I met Puff Daddy.
Oh man, this story.
Well, you know.
I've heard this story about Puff
I'm not
Daddy.
gonna tell it. You guys have heard it.
I've heard. I like the story about the Atlantic City with Trump. I like that story. It was pretty funny with Don King.
Oh man,
that was
I made like I had a bad prostate, you guys. I went to the bathroom like 8 or 10 times. I couldn't go to the bathroom enough. I couldn't. And I came back and they're still talking. And they're still talking. They're on the dice, man. And they're eating dinner. And one dude gets up and talks for 10 minutes, and the other one wants to talk. And they're trying to, it's a battle of the egos. Okay? It's a battle of egos. And I don't know who won. It was a draw.
But didn't Don King like sucker him for like some money?
Oh, Don King suckered him on that
for Sugar Ray Robinson's wife.
Ray Robinson's party, $280,000, something like that.
Yeah, that was,
for a photo op.
Yeah. He got him for like how much? 180 or something like that.
280 something like that. And listen, in order to do the
I'm jealous.
In order to do the con, Don King had to send me in the back of the room. Because here's what's up.
So you're an accomplice?
No. He thought I was gonna fuck it up. Because Don gets on the phone. Yeah, he's eating food. Yeah, okay. Hey, he's on the phone. Hey, Donald Trump's coming downstairs. I said, yeah, I don't care. Motherfucker don't shake hands. I said, I don't care. I don't like to do it anyway. I said, Mark is my guy. I don't need it. I said, I got my room here free through Mark, not through Trump or something. My Mark Edis was his attorney who died in the 92 helicopter crash. Anyway, he says to me, don't fuck it up for the rest of us. And I go, fuck what up? He goes, Donald Trump's coming downstairs. Go in the back of the room. So he sent me in the back. I'm getting this. I'm using this phone for free. Long distance, like $90 a minute. Okay, and I'm eating this food. You know where I'm coming from? And I'm working for him. You know, I got no beef here, man. I got no beef. So I went to the back of the room. Donald Trump came in, and I watched Don think, hey, Donald Trump goes, can we take a picture? Well, okay, right. We're from the signal from the flag. I happen to say Don came directly in the back. You know what I'm saying? Don's so slick. You know what I'm saying, you guys? The flag was here. Okay? The flag was right here. And the Don King production shit was right above us. I mean, Don wasn't stupid. Don posed Donald Trump exactly where he wanted him for the photo op. They took the photo. We had the party the next night with Ray Robinson's wife, Millie. That's where I met Rocky Graziano. Of course, he was like way before my time, for the 40s, that kind of good stuff. But I said to him, hey, Rock, can we do an interview? He goes, kid, I got to go take a squirt. I'll be right back. And I said, okay. I never saw him again. He died the next year.
Oh my God!
One of the first boxing movies I ever saw was the Paul Newman movie. Someone Likes Me. Yeah.
That was Graziano's life story. Listen, all those guys probably had their own, could have had their own movies. I mean, they saw the came from that rock gut generation where everybody had to work hard. I don't think anybody got passes back then, you guys. I don't think so. You know, and speaking of passes, let's talk about referees in boxing right now. You know, I'm still like Tony Weeks is still number one on my bad list, man. I mean, here's what's up. When he stopped that fight with Raleigh Romero in the old man from South America, okay, he stopped that fight the way he did. How come he didn't have to apologize? How come he didn't have to? Sock, are you with me on this one?
There's no repercussions for fuck ups.
I mean, he should have apologized. He said, you know what, kid, I ruined your life, man. You know, you should be world champion. You should be world champion right now. I ruined your life. And then, we'll give him a rematch. Rematches don't work because you can never get yourself up to the physical and psychological level you were at that one point in time.
Right.
Like the first Zuma Nelson Jeff Fennick fight, I thought he won the fight going away. I did. Jeff Fennick did. Okay, they called it a draw, right? And then Jeff Fennick never really won another fight again. He just took everything out of him. It's like the best way I can describe this to you guys is that Sock knows what I'm talking about because he played a little bit of blackjack in his life. But if you're playing at a blackjack table, you got $5,000, Tommy D, down, and he gives you a cane and ace. You won, right?
Not if the dealer has blackjack.
No. This is boxing. The guy with a 16 beat you.
Sick.
See the look on your face?
Yeah, that's sick.
That's the look. That's the look here. I remember one time they robbed me in Tucson, Arizona. I left the medal in the center of the ring. And they went to give me the silver medal. I stepped back, let that shit drop. USPAL title, World PAL title, let that shit drop right on the canvas. I said, you guys are kidding me. I dropped that guy twice. I hit him. I threw bolo punches on him, you guys. I dogged him so bad. I should have been arrested for it. I should have. Here's what's up. They had a big newspaper article. The English police team was in town. The English boxing team, right? So we had weigh-ins, and they didn't weigh us in. I said, "Where's the weight? Where's the scale?" Oh, we don't have a scale. Say what? So the dude that I weighed, he had to weigh like close to 170 pounds. It had to be, right? So they said to me, they pulled this crap. Are you scared? No, I wasn't scared when I was leading him up. And when I was going to tell you how crooked the police Olympics are, when I fought for the California Police Olympic title the first time, they put me with a guy for the gold medal that had 12 pro fights. And they didn't tell me.
Wow.
You know? And I found out at the weigh-in, when I saw him at the weigh-in, they had a real weigh-in for that one. He had scar tissue over both eyes. I said, how many fights have you had? He said, I would say, what? How many? And I went to the tournament director. This guy's a pro. And then they said to me, are you scared? I went out there and I beat his ass so bad, the San Diego cops and the LA cops, they rioted afterwards. He was from the LA Sheriff's Office. I shuffled on him. I mean, listen, you're talking about a brown cop doing this in front of a bunch of white cops.
Do they still have those police games?
I don't know. But it was the most crooked shit I ever been involved in. It was more crooked than amateur boxing. It was more crooked than professional boxing. How could you drop somebody 2 times and almost spit on him, you guys? Okay, because of their weight. You know what I'm saying? I was pissed.
Yeah.
I was pissed. And when you looked at that guy and you looked at me, you say to yourself, what is he doing in the ring with him?
But what happened? Like, how did they score? They didn't count the knockdowns. That they like. I mean, what was the scoring of it? Like, did they count the knockdowns?
There was 3 judges. They gave him a split decision.
Jesus Christ, that's crazy.
He got dropped twice. And I remember one time I wasn't. Listen, you guys. I wasn't the best sport in the world. I mean, I wouldn't spit on people like Tony Ayala, this and that, but I would stand over a motherfucker. I wouldn't go back to my corner. I would stand over, and look at you.
Wow.
You have to get back to your corner, back to the corner. No, I wouldn't. They would have to tell me. When I knock somebody down, I'm standing over them, just like Ali used to overdo. Hey, listen, you've conquered somebody. Do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, any boxing this weekend?
We got one fight, and then we got one exhibition that I know of. I mean, so Amanda just won tonight, a decision. Okay. I didn't get to see. I mean, it was in front of me. And then you have Oshaki Forces fighting this guy Hernandez in Cancun.
Did somebody just get a fight taken away from them for drugs or
for weed?
Oh yeah, for weed. Keyshawn. Yeah.
What state was that?
Was that in Texas?
Yeah.
That was
That's why.
But for weed, I've never heard of that. That's
Nate Diaz got away with it down there when he fought that Jake Paul, wherever the hell he fought in that last big fight down there. But Nate Diaz told me, he goes, Pete, I ain't quitting smoking weed. Fuck them Texas people. I said, listen, man, it's a felony down there. He goes, Pete, are you serious? I said, it's a felony, bro. It's a felony. So here's what's up. Somebody took the urine test for Nate Diaz. That's the way it was. I watched Roger Mayweather take a drug test for Tony Willis.
Wow.
Tony Willis was a light heavyweight. Challenged for the light heavyweight title at one point in time. He challenged Emanuel Steward, thought he could fight. I think Emanuel might have even had him. Yeah, Emanuel had him. We were in Tucson, Arizona, where I got ripped off. We were in Tucson, Arizona, and I was on my way to South America. And so Willis gets beat. He's a heavy favorite. He gets beat, right? We go back to the dressing room. Willis pulls down his cup, right? Pulls down his cup. And I noticed there's something in his sock. He had a big wad of cocaine in his sock. And the guy who was a black African guy that died in that fight with Robert Kuroga? Anybody know?
With who? Robert who?
The guy from Nigeria. Can't think of his name right now. Anyway, here's what man. What the fuck was his name? That's killing me now. Robert Kuroga. Akeem Awaji. Kid Akeem. They called him Kid Akeem. Okay. He died from boxing. I mean, they put him in that fight. He almost got killed. And this is where I was going back. When they brought him back to the dressing room, they found coke in his cup. Cocaine in his cup.
But they don't test. I mean, they have to test. They didn't test for drugs back then, like that, or
I somehow a lot of the drug testing, especially in Texas, shit disappeared. I mean, one time, what did they say? Saw a couple years ago with Julio Chavez, they couldn't find the cup. Remember that one?
With Junior?
Texas said they couldn't find the cup. Remember?
With Chavez Jr.
Yeah, Chavez Jr. They couldn't find the cup.
Wow.
Evidently, somebody told me he saw him on a podcast that he's all messed up. Huh? Kid.
Yeah, I mean, but you told me stories about Camacho and like they didn't test before after the fight and saw that he had it in the system, like.
Well,
because didn't Benavidez get he got bagged for
yeah,
cocaine.
But he got bagged. He wasn't fighting. That's what sort of messed up about Benavidez. He wasn't even fighting. But some of these, I think guys take other drug tests for guys. I think that it happens. Like I told you, Roger Mayweather pulled out his big dick and peed in his cup right in front of me. I mean, here's what you're not listening. My sock's shaking his head. I'm in the dressing room as a young journalist. You're coming on. I'm like a green journalist. ESPN, I'm covering ESPN fights in Vegas, this and that. And this guy pulls it, and they go, and they come back to the dressing room. You ready? All right. And there are all kinds of shuffling going back. What's going on here? And then boom, Roger pulls out and starts peeing in his bottle. I'm going, what?
Wow. So if he's doing it, there's other people doing it as well.
Yeah, and I think that I think Canelo's.
You think Canelo?
I think Canelo's a some guy. I think so. I think the meat was he can beat my meat on that one. Anyway, it looks like Sock's ready to fall asleep, man. We need.
He had a tough week, right? Yeah, his son was sick.
Tough week. Started at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
You're running too?
Hell no.
I ran through miles yesterday. I felt pretty good.
Yeah, you did. You reminded us like at least 3 times.
I know, but the reason I'm reminding you that because I tried to tell you to go get a blood test. You got to give me some crap that you can't get it. Hey, Sock, takes him 3 months to get a blood test.
What? What's that? Time out.
He's got to go.
He's got to take it. He's probably got to take a leak. He's done that before.
Anyway,
I'm gonna do it, Pedro. I mean,
I know. Here's what's up. The reason why I tell you this is that the people that didn't take care of themselves ended up finding out things too late and too wrong.
Yeah.
You don't want to find things. You don't want to be on the wrong end of a medical decision. I mean, think of Emanuel. If Emanuel had been as anal as me with the colonoscopy, do you think he'd be dead? No. Okay? You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Now, as far as pound for pound boxing is concerned, is the face of boxing, and we talked about this before, but there is no face right now, is it? Is there?
In my opinion, I really don't think there's a face. I mean, maybe the 2 closest guys would be, in my opinion, would be Canelo and Tank Davis. But the thing is, Canelo's not fighting anybody that anybody wants to see.
Well,
he still has the name.
Yeah, John Ryder and Charlo.
He's not fighting anyone.
Well, he's not. I put it this way, bro. I don't think he'll ever fight David Benavidez.
I don't think so either.
I don't think he'll ever fight him. I think I don't. I mean, when he said a year and a half ago, I don't fight other Mexicans. He's come. I mean, he's had all these excuses over the years. I mean, the dude was ranked. The dude was a former WBC super middleweight champion. He held the title before Canelo, right? He's been ranked number 1 for 2.5 years. And Canelo's talking, I want to fight this guy. I want to fight that guy. And then when they bring up Benavidez, he pulls some macho stuff. Yeah, okay, I'm ready. No.
Yeah, like the last fight, the post fight interview, he said that. He said, I don't give a damn. I don't give a,
I don't give an F.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I'll fight anybody.
Yeah.
But he won't. I mean,
he won't. Listen. Somebody said to me the other day that they're afraid that if he loses, that boxing will really hit the skids. And, do you think is he that important?
I don't think he's that important. I just think he has a name right now that people that are not hardcore boxing fans like we are that know of. Like us hardcore fans, we don't mess with Canelo because he's not fighting the fights we want.
Speaking of hardcore fans, man, I think we should go to Japan the day after Christmas.
The day after Christmas?
Is that the Inoue fight? Inoue's going to fight this guy the day after Christmas?
Oh, yeah. I don't know if I could get the pass. I mean, Sak, you think you get the pass?
For?
To fly over to Japan?
That's going to be an event, man. That Inoue fighting for the undisputed 122-pound title. Isn't he taking on the guy that's got the other 2 belts?
Yeah, but he's not really anything special.
No.
He should kill this guy. He should wash him easy.
Not Robesi.
No, it's not Robesi. If it was Robesi, then I'd say, we got a good fight.
Here's what's up. I know you guys have seen fights here in the States. You got to see a fight somewhere else. You have to.
I definitely want to make it out to the UK.
Yeah.
That's the best part of the zone is Sweet Caroline.
It's probably it is the best part.
Some Eddie Hearn shows. They swing the Sweet Caroline. I mean, they pack the house for anybody. They get behind their athletes.
They do, and it's I mean, Marcus Queensberry started the thing back then and there. And when I went to England, boxing was premier sport. I mean, it wasn't like anything else even mattered. Maybe it's because Ahmed was fighting that week. You know what I'm saying? But nothing else ever mattered, man. I mean, as far as sport was concerned. And I had a good run. I used to write for the Glasgow Sunday Post, which at one point in time had a 3.4 million circulation.
Glasgow, Scotland?
Glasgow Sunday Post.
Oh,
It was a
That's
Sunday
from
newspaper.
Scotland.
Okay, I'm like, because it sounds okay. I'm thinking
No, it was a Sunday newspaper from Glasgow, Scotland. So anyway,
Scotland. That's what I said. Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, so I'm writing this in I'm writing for the Glasgow Sunday Post, the boxing column, and some guy from the Average White Band, and then that used to be you. I go, well, yeah, because I was with the AWB a couple months ago, and one of the original guys, the original bass player, Artie, says to me, he goes, Pedro, that was you writing in the Sunday Post, the boxing writer? He goes, yeah. He goes, what happened to that? I go, they stopped paying me. That's what that was all about. Because hey, listen, I would get like $500 for a column from them a week. When I did a story for Boxing Monthly, I told them I get $2,500. Nobody else got that kind of money. Nobody got that kind of money. Then again, I was delivering both Douglas and Tyson before the Douglas Tyson fight. So the guy said to me, I said, "You want the article or not?" He goes, I sent him the article, and I said to him, "You can't use it unless you pay me, right?" He goes, "I really want to use it. I really want to use it. I'll give you $1,000." I got him $2,500.
Nice.
It is what it is.
Sock, you've been to Germany to watch a fight, right? You would.
No, I haven't been.
I went.
No, I think Sock. Yeah.
I went to, yes, I went to Cologne, Germany to see Felix Sturm and Giovanni Lorenzo. At the time, I was involved with Giovanni Lorenzo's team. I was kind of like his pseudo press agent, and definitely experience. It was. That's when I noticed that Germany had nothing to envy the United States. The airport was super clean. It was the best beer I ever had in my life. It was just totally different,
Yeah, but if you think they treat you bad in Mississippi, live there for a while.
No, but Cologne, Germany is a weird place. It's like you have a lot of people from Ethiopia, a lot of like North African people.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you what. Did I tell you what Ali? I told you what Ali said earlier. Unless you got blonde hair and blue eyes.
I mean, it's probably a good place to visit. I don't think I'd necessarily, live there, but I had a good experience over there. Like I said, it's on my bucket list. I have to go to the UK to see a fight. Just the atmosphere is just tremendous. At least it is on TV.
Japan, you guys, you got to go to Japan just for the experience. I couldn't figure out what was going on in Japan. I was walking down the street, walking for blocks. I couldn't figure out. You know what it was? There was no noise. Nobody honked the horn. Nobody whistled. Nobody screamed. Nobody said, "Motherfucking move!" I mean, nothing. I mean, I was tripping. I couldn't figure out what it was. I'm going, what's wrong with me?
Well, that fight, even the crowds are very respectful. They don't do anything. They're silent until
I went to a fight. I went to a fight at the Korakuen Hall, which is next door to the Tokyo Dome. That's where they hold a lot of the fights here in Japan. The Japanese people are, I think they're more into boxing than the English people. I really do. I think that they, with this kid now, I don't know how popular he is as far as the newspapers I think is concerned, but I think he's a mega star, and talk about the Illinois. And I think that he can only get bigger. But here's what's up: he's got to come to the United States and fight somebody like you or me or Sock. You know what I'm saying? He's got to fight somebody with a name over here. And I mean, because Bob Air, I guess they don't want Sock. Do they not want to make him a star here? Or are they content with just making him make money in Japan? You think?
I mean, they could, if they want to keep milking him, but the guy's the goods. I don't think he necessarily has to be protected. I think legitimately he could fight.
You let him go against anybody at 126?
Yes.
Me too.
At 126, the neighborhood got a little easier.
Yeah, 130.
But I think 130 is
130 could be his Waterloo.
Yeah.
Because Navarrete is there, and
Robeisy,
Robeisy at 126 or 130 now.
I think 26.
26. Robesi's pretty solid.
I mean, Navarrete and him is a mega fight.
It's a big fight.
Big fight.
I think Navarrete just lost a step, you guys. I think he has. I think that not Father Time. I just think the fact that he's been a successful Mexican for a few years, and that wears on you. I mean, Canelo wasn't in shape until he was in good shape this last fight, but he really hasn't been in shape for a while. Stick a fork. He's soft, man. Time for you. Listen, it's time to get rid of these old dudes. Time to get these old guys out.
Yeah.
Canelo got to go. Gervonta Davis, and I think the Socrates Palmer, the boxing's PhD. The H is always small. You said it without a doubt. When Ryan Garcia lost, that effed everything up. And this, but had Ryan been competitive though, and it'd been a good fight, it still would have been
could have milked the rematch. Yeah, but Tank is still fairly young. Tank is fairly young. Inouye's in his 30s already.
Tank's 26.
Yeah, but Inouye's like 33, I think.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So he's up there. So he's looking for a big fight. He's considering a Tank fight. I don't know if they'll do a catch weight or he'll come up to 135. But he's looking to get a big fight. Where they would have the fight, I'm assuming. I don't think Floyd will let Tank fight in Japan, but I mean.
And here's what's up. Is Floyd still in charge of him? Floyd still?
I think so.
I thought he was calling his own shots, Sock.
I mean, he's still.
I don't think so.
Floyd still has he still has him contracted.
Why do you think I I covered him in the amateurs. I covered him early on in the pros. I saw him losing the Olympic trials, Augie Sanchez, where he cried through a fit and that kind of good stuff. Shelly Finkel was chasing him around the arena. It's okay, Floyd. It's okay. Anyway, and he told me one time that I was the best boxing writer in the world, and then 10 minutes later he said to me I didn't know shit about boxing. So I said 10 minutes ago I was the best boxing writer in the world, though. Anyway, bottom line is I've never been enamored with Floyd. I think he's more show than go. I think that maybe his best fight might have been the Diego Corrales fight. Corrales was on his way to prison, as I know, because me and Diego at one point in time were very tight. 2 points of life were very tight. But he didn't train for that fight. He just wanted to get paid and give Olga the money that she had coming. As far as Diego Corrales, not only did he drag his wife down the stairs by her hair, he drug her back up the stairs by her hair.
Jesus.
Yeah. So he went to prison for that. And he and I didn't talk for a couple of years. He went to jail. We didn't talk for a couple of years. And he called me up and said, we straighten things out. I said, man, I don't even want to talk together again. I'll do straighten things out. So we saw each other at the fights and sort of like hugged and that kind of good stuff. And we were partners. And then he moved to Vegas. And then he had that fight with Jose Luis Castillo. And I thought that, that they should have put him on a 1-year suspension after that. Both those guys. Okay.
Both of them, yeah.
What they did was Gary Shaw, just like the Muslims pimped off Muhammad Ali, Gary Shaw pimped off Diego Corrales and put it back in the ring 90 days later.
Not only that, Castillo came in overweight too.
Yeah, that
was messed up. Yeah.
And you know what? Not only did he come in overweight, they didn't check him after that.
Yeah.
You know I'm coming from, Saad? Yeah. So he came in like whatever the weight was, he came in 3 or 4 pounds over, and then he put another 15 on.
Yeah. No, I know.
There's a mismatch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it's about an hour and a half. You ready to call this?
Yeah, I think we're gonna call it. Pedro, I really appreciate you coming on. You gave some great stories and stuff. I would love to have you back. We talk obviously, all the time.
I don't know about coming back here. I don't know about coming back here. Because you got to listen. I'm Sock.
Mm-hmm.
Sock's agent is my agent. Okay, we have the same agent, so you deal with her.
You got to negotiate. Okay.
All right.
You deal with her. You tell me what you want me on one more time. You got to talk to his daughter. Once she approves things and says, "Hey, Pete, you got to go for it," we'll come on again.
Okay. And then I'll we'll aim. We'll do little segments. We'll do like I got like a little 10-minute, 15-minute segment. We maybe do like a 20-minute segment of Pedro. We'll do definitely a round with Pedro. Every now and then, something like that. Why not?
Is Sophie? Is the boss listening to the show right now? Is she listening to the show?
No, it's past her bedtime.
Okay, the bottom line, she'll probably listen to the recorded version tomorrow. So you better pay up, man.
Okay.
I'm gonna
negotiate for her.
You do not want her coming after you. I'm telling you, man.
I know.
I've dealt with her.
Yeah, but you see, I'm closer. I'm here in the Bronx with him. You're on the other side of the country. So
yeah, but you understand that means that every time I step out the door, I got to look both ways. Listen, Sophie Palmer. I mean, I'm telling you, man. She's the best agent in the entire world.
You haven't met my agent.
Oh no,
my agent is very disrespectful.
Is that your wife?
Yeah.
I don't want to I respect her totally.
Pedro, you know how many years she's been my agent?
Come on.
Over 21 years.
Congratulations, my brother.
21 years.
Congratulations.
Yeah. And going strong.
And more 21 more reasons to take that blood test. Anyway, let's call it that. Same with you, Sock.
You're right.
Absolutely.
No reason. Hey, you know what?
I'm not slacking.
People laugh about me being vigilant about this health thing. Man, I look so much better than the rest of my friends. You guys wouldn't believe. My friends can't get out of cars. Okay? So I'm just putting it to you like that. Anyway, it's a pleasure. Sock, I'll see you tomorrow. Young man, I will see you Sunday.
You got it.
He's a shot caller now on Sunday. You know that, Sock, huh?
That's the name he gave me. Tommy D. Even though my wife does not like that name.
What?
My wife does not like Tommy D.
What is she?
Because my son, she calls my son Tommy.
Oh, well.
Right. So my son is Junior, but she calls my son Tommy. So, and I told her that people call me Tommy. Say nobody calls you Tommy. They call you TJ.
So listen. Listen. I'm not worried about your wife. You know why?
Why?
I got to deal with Sophie Palmer. You know what I'm saying? I mean, no. Your wife's a minor league compared. I'm sorry, man.
No, she'll take your side anyway. She'll be on my case more than anything.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway, you guys are both. You go. Let me leave you with this. Let me leave you with this, you guys. You guys both have wonderful families. You guys both have lovely wives. You both are incredibly lucky. You both have won the lottery many times over. Remember that. I mean, when sometimes you ain't got the extra 50 to do what you want to do, or the extra 100 to do what you want to do, think of it this way, man. Look what you got.
Yeah.
You guys got beautiful families, and we're eating. We're Sock's got his little cooler there. I mean, so nobody's really hurting. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we're like we got the EBT card. We're sitting there going, "Damn, man, we got to eat." It ain't like that. So it's sort of cool. Yeah. Anyway, hey, what's the slice cost in New York now?
Oh my! It's over like $2 now.
Like
no,
$2.50.
About $2.50. About $2.50 now.
$2.75.
You know how much I pay for a slice out here?
How much?
$5 at least.
And it's not as good though.
Nah, I know it isn't.
It's not.
I know it isn't. There was a place across street from the Madison Square Garden. I used to go get pizza. It was pretty cool. I go there like 2-3 o'clock in the morning. All these other people in there, all kinds of group. New York was really cool.
But let me ask you something. Were they Italian?
Of course, Italian.
They were. No.
No. You know what? I don't think they were Italian. I don't think they were Italian. I think they were Indians. But they made a good pizza. It don't matter. It's Luigi Patel. So
a lot of pizzerias are Mexicans in a lot of pizzerias now. Unless you go to Little Italy here in the Bronx, there's a few good Italian restaurants and pizzerias here.
Hey, real quick? Who was a mafia guy that used to walk around New York in a bathrobe?
Gigante.
He was a professional boxer.
The Chin.
Yeah, the Chin. But he was a professional boxer. He had like 25 fights, I think. He only lost a couple.
Yeah.
He was a bad dude. Anyway, all props to you guys. I feel honored to be on the show with you guys. I can't say enough, except for the fact that I gotta go take. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway,
all right,
Sock did that. I didn't. Anyway, I will see you Saturday tomorrow or later today, and I will see you, young man, on Sunday.
You got it.
I appreciate both your talent, your abilities, what you bring to the show. I want you to think that the show is like when you guys are on, that it's yours.
Yeah, and I appreciate you for having me, for bringing me on.
Socrates said, "Listen." Another Sophie said, "If you don't take this dude on, it's Sophie." So, I'm sorry, Sock. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to tell all these stories. Like, she calls us. She's the real shot caller.
Al Haymanish.
Oh, that's better than that other one I used. Anyway, much love. We'll talk later.
All right, bro. Thank you, Pedro.
Peace, brother.
All right. Sock, I know you got to go, but that was pretty cool. I don't know. I know we didn't get into the football section. Maybe we could jump on tomorrow quick. I'll talk to D-Free, huh?
Yeah, we got to get D-Free on.
We'll get D-Free. We'll do our joint. Maybe we'll do it sometime tomorrow. We'll pick a time and we'll just do football real quick. We'll talk it up and stuff. Thank you to everybody in the chat. I didn't get to shout you guys or thank you guys. I saw Opulent LD, Clarence, my boy Clarence is here, Skywalker, Old School William, Old School. Thank you, G5 Gabe. I saw you guys. My boy Brandon Metzler, thank you. I'm sorry I couldn't shout you. We was obviously, letting Pedro cook and talk and tell his stories. He's been in the game a very long time, and this was cool. So. If anybody want to continue talking, I'll stay on for a little bit. I know, Sock, you got to go. Everything all right though?
Yeah,
all right, cool. All right. So yeah, but we'll talk tomorrow if anything, and I'll stay on anything. I'll put the link in the chat if anybody want to come up and talk. I know D Free was doing his joint. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah. So and Opulent LD gave me I got to talk to him because I don't really know how to do this with YouTube. He said I should make a couple of short videos out of this video with Pedro's stories. Like I could clip it. I got to figure out how to do that.
It's a great idea.
I know you could do the clip. I don't know how you could repost. So I'll talk to him about that. But I think we should do it because he was giving like different stories and there was nice little few minutes there. Like we could probably repost and redo. But
that's a great idea.
Yeah, I think I might try to do that. But I'll talk to him. Opulent LD. It's a good dude. Mr. Shelton was in here. Thank you, Mr. I saw you too. He was helping me. He told me that it was started off a little blurry or whatever, buffering, and he told me it was okay. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, if I missed you, I apologize. Like I said, if you guys want to jump in, we talk a little bit. It's up to you guys. So Sock, if you got to go, I appreciate you. My co-host, Big Sock, and we'll talk tomorrow. We'll set something up. We'll do the football tomorrow.
Absolutely. So long, sir.
All right, bro. All right, guys. So I don't know if anybody want to continue talk, want to shoot the shit. I mean, we're talking boxing. We even talk about Fury because nobody cares about the exhibition fight, really. I know Pedro didn't really care, and it would have been nice to ask him about it because I think he thinks that Fury's going to get knocked out. I'm gonna say that Fury gets dropped. I don't know if he'll get knocked out. I think he'll get dropped in this fight. But yeah, nobody really cares about this exhibition, so that's why we didn't bring it up. The Oshaki Foster fight, I'm very interested in that. I think that's going to be a good fight. I like, the weigh-in or the press conference. I think it was they were at it. I didn't get to see the weigh-in. The press conference was pretty they got fired up in there. That dude was talking a lot of shit. Hopefully, it doesn't take Oshaki out of his element and may try to do something that he doesn't really do and get caught with something. I don't kind of trust Cancun. You don't really see many big fights in Cancun. So, I'd kind of feel like, it could be some cheating or maybe the judges might be whatever. So it'll be interesting. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, William, hopefully it'll be dope. I think it'll be a black eye for boxing and MMA fighter stopping the heavyweight champ of boxing. But you know what? Usually, I'm pro boxing. I'm not really an MMA guy. But you know what? In this case, I'll take it. I would love to see it. I'd love to see Fury get knocked out. But yeah, then they got that signed fight supposedly December 23rd with Fury and Usyk. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. I can see Fury pulling out of that fight like he did in the third Wilder fight where he said he had COVID and then he went over to the UK before coming back. I thought that was kind of suspect. I could see him pulling out. I mean, December 23rd is pretty much almost 2 months away, pretty much less than 2 months away. So, and then he's got this fight with Francis. Could get it. Maybe he gets a cut or something. And, that I don't see that happening December 23rd. So, yeah. But other than that, I don't got anything. I'm going to save football talk for tomorrow. When we do our picks and go over our standings. Last week, I believe Sock had a good week. I think I had a decent week. I can't remember off the top of my head. I know D-Free finally had a bad week. I think he lost all 3 of his picks, if I'm not mistaken. He might still be in first place, but we'll go over that tomorrow. But if you guys don't got anything in the chat that want to come up or whatever, that's cool. I will just sign off. Shout out to everybody that came through. Much appreciated. Maybe I'll post a replay. Maybe I'll do these shorts as Opulent LD suggested. Shout out TWT, the family. Shout out to my boy Jose and the Bronx logo. As you see, I'm a Bronx kid. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things we got over there. But man, as you can tell that they are not prepared, especially off. It's crazy. I see a lot of teams. It's not just the Saints. Obviously, my team, banged up. The offensive line play has been bad across the board in the NFL. Except maybe a few teams, but I'm starting to think it's not just the offensive line. It's this new concept of this offensive concept these coaches have. Like, the play calling has been shaky, especially with the Seahawks. Like, their play calling, I do not understand it. They're a running team and they just don't run enough. I just think it's the play calling. The Saints, it's one big dump off to Kamara. And sometimes I feel, and you, William, you watch the Saint games because you're a Saints fan. I felt in the last game, I didn't feel like Kamara was running hard on every play. I felt like he was taking plays off. I don't know what you thought, but it just seemed just weird, like the play calling and him, like he didn't run a route where it was a turnover. That was totally Kamara's fault. And there was another play where I thought he half-assed the play too. That was like so obvious too. Like I think it was another route that he didn't, run, or he missed a block or something. But yeah, man, I don't know if it's just the offensive line, but I've seen it across the board. And I think it has to do with the schemes and the play calling. Maybe we'll touch more about it tomorrow, but you let me know what you think. I mean, that's what I've been seeing. It's frustrating to watch, especially when you watch your own team do it, and especially when you see your team draft young linemen and they just keep getting hurt and just, and your guy's running for his life every time. It's just, I don't know. But the play calling is too damn conservative. Not only too damn conservative, it's sometimes it's too obvious. Like what they're doing. If I know what they're running as a fan, what do you think the defensive coordinators or the defensive players are doing? They got to know too. I don't know. But yeah, definitely conservative play calling is crazy. Except fourth downs. Fourth downs, they go with the analytics. Not so conservative. You got teams going for it on fourth down based off this analytics, which I totally don't agree with. I believe in, taking points depending on the scenarios and the time. But all of this analytics in the second quarter, 4th and 2, you're going for it. Kick the field goal. I mean, I don't know. That's just me. If it's like a 40-yard field goal or something like that. But 4th and 2, going for it, I don't get it sometimes. But the O-line isn't making blocks and blowing assignments. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It could be blowing assignments because maybe the scheme, maybe their offensive scheme. But yeah, poor coaching, definitely. And I think we're seeing this a lot. And I think it's because there's a lot of young coaches too. But yeah, you obviously see more of the Saints games, so you're going to know more, as far as the Saints. But as far as Seattle, same thing, and poor coaching is play calling, right? So, and missed assignments is poor coaching, so. But yeah, man, I think I'm going to wrap this one up. Appreciate you, William, for coming through. And so once again, let me end this. Shout out TWT. Shout out to man Jose, the Bronx logo. Saying the store's coming soon. Can't wait for the store to pop up. I'll play a little something that I've been playing, and then I'll get out of here. So all of you guys have a good night. Appreciate you guys coming through. Just gonna play this clip real quick, and then and shout out the Bronx logo, and then we'll be out of here.
The Coach's Gallery. Listen. Let me tell you something, man.
You came right on time. It says God's word.
Listen, hip-hop saviors from the ground up, nigga. If we don't know how to do nothing else, we know how to grind. And we ain't never going back to jail. And we saving the hip-hop. And we saving the communities. And we saving the babies. Hip-hop culture. If it ain't